Good morning. I'm Gene Love, Chairman of the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, and I'm calling the regular meeting of the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority for September the 30th, 2022 to order. The time is 9:41, and this meeting is an in-person and open meeting, and all authority members that are participating in person, and we are live streaming the meeting. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. John Jones.
Here.
Ms. Dana Weber.
Here.
Mr. Will Berry.
Here.
Mr. Todd Cone. Mr. John Titsworth.
Here.
Mr. Gene Love.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is approval of our minutes for our regular meeting that was done on August the 23rd, 2022. Each of the authority members have gotten a copy of that, and I would entertain a motion for approval for those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Jones and Ms. Weber. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Ms. Weber.
Yes.
Mr. Berry.
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth.
Yes.
Mr. Love.
Yes. The next item on the agenda is from the Finance Committee. Ms. Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Love. Item number 988, submitted for consideration of the authority, is the resolution establishing the schedule of new toll rates and charges for all persons, firms, and corporations classified as plate pay users for the Creek Turnpike. The Finance Committee and staff have reviewed this item and recommend approval, and I therefore move for approval.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Ms. Weber.
Yes.
Mr. Berry.
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth.
Yes.
Mr. Love.
Yes.
The next item is item number 989 in the Information Technology Division. Submitted for consideration and approval of the authority is a request to authorize the director to negotiate and execute the first of 3 available one-year extensions to the master service consulting contracts with each of the following 4 staffing firms: Addison Group, InSeed LLC, Side Job Inc., and Summit Consulting LLC. Under the terms of these master service consulting contracts, these firms offer the recruitment and staffing of resources with the necessary skill sets and level of technical expertise to support technology enhancements and maintenance for the authority, including those related to cashless conversion and national interoperability. The Finance Committee and staff have reviewed this item and recommend approval, and I therefore move for approval.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Berry. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Ms. Weber.
Yes.
Mr. Berry.
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth.
Yes.
Mr. Love.
Yes.
The next item from the Finance Committee is item number 990 from the Strategic Communications Division. Submitted for consideration and approval of the authority is an item to authorize the director to negotiate and execute a sponsorship agreement with Sooner Sports Properties LLC, Cowboy Sports Properties LLC, and Golden Hurricane Sports Properties LLC for marketing of the authority's safety initiatives, Pike Pass, Plate Pay, mobile application, toll payment options, and other customer service-focused initiatives. The contract term is 2 years, starting July 1st, 2021, and continuing through June 30th of 2023. This approval includes ratification of the initial year. Compensation paid for the initial year of the contract is $240,000. Compensation to be paid for the second year of the contract is $247,000. The Finance Committee and staff have reviewed this item, recommend approval, and I therefore move for approval. And I would like to comment that this is really, I think, a very important thing that we're doing because we've got so much going on, and one of our very important missions is to make sure we communicate to the public as much as possible so that they are well informed in advance of what they need to know.
Motion for approval.
Yes.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Jenny, please call.
Chairman, may I ask a question on the benefit of the citizens of Oklahoma, please?
Okay.
My name is Randy Carter, and I have spent, I grew up in an advertising family. I spent 40-plus years career in the advertising business as a consultant and contractor for various advertising agencies around the state of Oklahoma, Texas, and surrounding areas. I would like to ask this honorable board and the chairman if you could please explain to the citizens of Oklahoma the benefit of spending nearly $500,000 on radio advertising. How does this benefit the operations and the maintenance of the turnpike, especially in light of the fact that the maintenance fund the deposits to the maintenance fund have recently been split have been cut by 50%. Has the authority provided you with ROAS or ROI on the existing advertising campaigns and on the current campaign? ROAS is return on ad spent, and ROI is return on investment. I think the citizens of Oklahoma would be interested to know the exact benefits of these advertising programs.
Sir, that's not on our agenda at this particular time, and we're not prepared to answer that at this particular time. Thank you for your comments.
Okay, the next item of business on the Finance Committee is item 991.
Ms. Weber, I believe I just need to take the vote on
Oh,
the
sorry.
item 990 still.
Sorry.
Okay. Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Love?
Yes.
Okay, now, the next item of business is item number 991 from the Controller Division. Submitted for the consideration and approval of the authority is the payment register for the period of August 1st, 2022 to and including August 31st, 2022. The Finance Committee and staff have reviewed this item and recommend approval, and I therefore move for approval.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Berry. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Love?
Yes. The next items on the agenda are from the Engineering and Construction Committee. Mr. Berry.
Thank you, Mr. Love. My first item is item number 992. It's presented for the consideration of the authority. It is a request that the following change orders and supplemental agreements be approved. These are presented as items 1 through 8, with 4 of these items applying to the capital plan projects and 4 of them applying to the driving forward projects. 3 of these items add new paid items to compensate the contractor for additional work. 3 of the items establish the final quantities on the contract in order to close the project. 1 of the item funds a contractual early completion bonus. And 3 of the items also grant time back to the contractor for the delays to the project. Each of these items have been reviewed by staff and have been discussed in the Engineering and Construction Committee meeting and are recommended for approval. I move that we approve this item as presented.
We have a motion for approval of item 992. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Love?
Yes.
Next item is item number 993 from the Engineering Division. It's submitted for the consideration of the authority as a request that the following item be approved or disapproved. A summary of the item is as follows. It's project number SP63. It's modification number 1 for cashless conversion for the Turner Turnpike and Will Rogers Turnpike. The consultant is HNTB, and the amount is not to exceed $246,998.78. This contract modification is for the additional design services as a result of changing from a shape-based classification to an axle-based classification for the cashless conversion of the Turner and the Will Rogers Turnpike. I move that we approve this item as presented.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Weber. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Love?
Yes.
My next item is item number 994 from the Right-of-Way and Utilities Division. Submitted for the consideration of the authority is a request that the following items be approved or disapproved. The contract number is for on-site, on-demand demolition services. Modification number 1 for the right-of-way of services. The consultant is Robin Hausner Demolition, and it's in the amount not to exceed $160,000. This modification is for additional funds for this contract that expires on December 31st, 2022. The original on-demand demolition services agreement was for a 2-year period commencing on January 1st, 2020. The amount due under this modification shall not exceed the total of $160,000. The revised contract amount is $400,000. The right-of-way of staff has reviewed the above item and recommends approval. I move that we approve this pay item as presented.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Love?
Yes.
Next item is number 995, again from the Right-of-Way and Utilities Division. It's to declare surplus property and authorize the director to sell, lease, or otherwise dispose of the same. There's 3 parcels. Parcel, on line item number 1 is for 2.2 acres on the Turner Turnpike in Creek County. Location is Section 28, Township 18 North, Range 11 East. The second parcel is for 8.14 acres on the H.E. Bailey in Grady County with the Section 27, Township 9 North, Range 5 West. And the third parcel is for .08 acres on the John Kilpatrick Turnpike in Oklahoma County with the Section 17, Township 13 North, Range 3 West. A staff review of the property was conducted, and it has been determined that a portion of the described parcel and the approximate acreages identified was acquired as uneconomic remnants and that is not needed for construction or maintenance need anymore on the Turnpike system. The staff has reviewed the above item and recommends approval. I therefore move that we approve this item as presented.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Weber. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Love?
Yes.
My last item, number 996, is from the Maintenance Division. Submitted for the consideration of the authority is a request that the following purchase request be approved utilizing state contract AC 002. It's to be made out to CP Integrated Services, Inc. for concrete panel lifting and replacing concrete panels at various entrance and exit ramps, all for the cashless tolling conversion on the Cherokee Turnpike. The amount is not to exceed $286,385. The maintenance staff has reviewed and recommends approval of this item. I therefore move that we approve this item as presented.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Weber. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Love?
Yes. The next items on our agenda are reports. Our first one is the operating results. Ms. Smith.
Secretary Gatz, Chairman Love, and members of the authority, I'm happy to report that toll revenues continue to outpace last year by about 4.3%. Trucks are up, which is good. That's a good indication that the economy is kind of withstanding all of this. And also that the OTA continues to keep their operating expenses down, and they continue to be about 10.6% below the 2022 annualized budget. I'll take any questions.
Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Our next report is from our consulting engineer, Jimmy Sparks.
Good morning, Chairman Love, members of the authority, Secretary Gatz. We have completed the inspections, pardon me, of all the in-service facilities for the 2022 annual report, and it will be made available over the next week. And as we get ready for the presentation of the budget over the next couple of months, we'll continue working with engineering, maintenance, and finance for the finalization of the 2023 to 2027 capital plan. Reported the last couple of months on the conditions, just overall conditions of the pavements and bridges and how they operate at very high service levels. The third key component to our annual inspections is drainage culverts, and anything with an opening over 20 feet is classified as a bridge. So there's almost 7,800 structures that are smaller than that on the system and that are not classified as bridges. So, you know, with drainage being a key component to a safe and high-performing roadway, obviously OTA maintenance crews spend a lot of time clearing debris, fixing erosion around these structures so they function as they should. And in our annual inspections, pardon me, we rarely find that we have any, high to critical severity conditions around these smaller structures. So, all indicators of a very well-maintained system. Impact assessments, there were no new inspections, I'll say, in our monthly report. We did have the one from August 1st that was the latest hit to Chandler Bridge that was spoken about last month. As always, our capital plan project summaries in our monthly report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Our next report is from our Highway Patrol, Major Kennedy.
Morning.
Chairman Love, members of the authority, Secretary Guest, Director Kelly. For the month, Turnpike troopers made over 4,900 violator contacts and assisted over 1,000 motorists. They also investigated 136 motor vehicle collisions. Troopers worked 1,205 shifts and averaged 147 miles per shift for a total of over 176,000 miles driven. The Turnpike system did report one fatality that was on the Turner Turnpike. We did have 10 criminal interdictions on the Turnpike system. I've included special or specific information on our enforcement, toll enforcement, and collision reduction efforts in the report, and I'll stand for any questions.
The fatality on the Turner, what was the cause of that?
I believe the driver had a tire blowout, caused the driver to lose control and strike the barrier.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next report is from Secretary Getz.
Mr. Chairman, Authority Board members, good morning. One of the things I think is important to recognize, and each month at the board meeting, we have Mr. Sparks with Olson, our general engineering consultant, come up and make a presentation to the board to give you a better understanding of the condition of our network. The function of the general engineering consultant is to make sure that our network is being maintained in a good operating condition, and part of that is setting a maintenance reserve. To your credit, you are maintaining a network in a much better state of condition than we've had in the past, which is reflected in a change in the maintenance reserve that was discussed here just a bit earlier. So again, as we improve the network and reinvest, which again, you've heard me emphasize over and over again, it is critical that we continue to invest back into our Turnpike network. Part of that includes things like widening the Turner Turnpike, replacing some pavements on other areas, and maintaining. Dalbar retrofit and diamond grind, which to Joe's credit, he has done an exceptional job in extending the life cycle, keyword there, life cycle, of pavement by doing some retrofits and Dalbar diamond grinding, which in turn decreases our maintenance reserve because we are addressing some of those problems very effectively. And again, that's a credit to a exceptional engineering team. And the most important thing is the report that you get each month from the general engineering consultant is not arbitrary. It's for a purpose. And that purpose is to let you as board members know how well of a job the Turnpike Authority is doing in maintaining that network and making things happen out there. Whether that's Mark and his crews, or whether that's our construction contractor partners that are out there helping us each day implement new projects. But again, I think it's very important to have an understanding of why the maintenance reserve has been decreased over time, is because our network is improving and is becoming better and better. We've got a tremendous amount of work to do, so I don't want to mislead you because again, a key component of Access Oklahoma is to widen the Turner Turnpike and add capacity. That's not the only purpose of that widening. We have pavement on the Turner that if you get down underneath the surface courses, it's some of the original 70-year-old pavement. So we need to reinvest back into the Turner, or we won't always have a maintenance reserve that's set so low. But that's a big part, and there's a lot of thought that goes into that, and that is really a prime example of something that's a little bit unique in Oklahoma in the way that we manage the Turnpike network, because we have that general engineering consultant that represents the bondholders that we have that have invested into the Turnpike network. And again, I think that's a very critical component, and that is just a very high-level example of why our maintenance reserve has been reduced, because the condition of our network is improving. So, talk a little bit more about plate pay. The Cimarron Turnpike, the conversion, we started in August. And credit to the team for the work that they did at the 99 location to get it converted in advance of some of our higher traffic days on the Cimarron Turnpike. We've got some work left to do up there, including the spur to Stillwater, the US 177 gate. We hope to wrap that up by the end of November and have the Cimarron converted completely. So that work will be ongoing. But most importantly, as you travel through that 99 gate, where we have a long history of significant accidents, you no longer have to make that stop. The interchange is still an old design standard, and we will have to continue our work there to improve that interchange condition, just as we will at 177, just as we will at Walters and other locations like that. But plate pay is what makes that possible. Plate pay is what increases the safety of the folks that use the network. And plate pay is a significant lift for us. That's not easy to do. But in today's technological environment and the public's expectations, you know, it's certainly long overdue for Oklahoma to go cashless, and that's a part of it. The next phase of plate pay includes the Gilcrease, the Creek, and the Cherokee. We hope to get the Creek done by the end of November, maybe a little sooner. So we're being very deliberate about how we roll that one out, and want to make sure that we're fully and completely ready. We appreciate your consideration this morning of the rates, and we'll continue to work on that transition. We're still on track to have all of the turnpikes converted to cashless tolling by the end of 2024, and the team will continue to work hard to that effect. Advertising in particular, I think it won't be a surprise to you, because we've talked about it many times, that part of our plate pay conversion is directly related to attempting to make sure that everybody understands what that means, especially the citizenry here in Oklahoma, and that if they are not a Pike Pass account holder, that they've got an opportunity to open a Pike Pass account and have that chance to avoid the invoicing system of plate pay, because that is absolutely not our preferred method to interact with our turnpike patrons. It's the least preferred. So again, several years ago, we started a ramp up of advertising and marketing effort to make sure that folks knew they had that chance to get a Pike Pass. In addition to that, it's not just about Pike Pass. We will continue our efforts to explore every opportunity for turnpike patrons to be able to effectively and efficiently, cost effectively, travel the turnpike network. Part of that's interoperability. We continue to work really hard with the not only the central hub that makes us interoperable with all of the Texas turnpikes and Kansas turnpike, but we're also working very closely right now with the Southeast hub to make sure that we've got interoperability with them, and that will bring in Florida and some of the East Coast area. Interoperability has been something we've been working on for many, many years, and that's going to continue to be a big deal. And that means you can use your Pike Pass and travel on those other networks and be billed back. So interoperability is part of that, but also, as we talked a little bit about in the subcommittee meetings this morning, we have our Plus Pass mobile app that we're about to stand up that is another alternative for tolling. And if you want to use that, if you're an infrequent user, you don't feel the need to have a Pike Pass account, you can go ahead and download that mobile app, set that up, and you'll have an opportunity there that will be far cheaper than plate pay because of the processing costs that are associated with plate pay and the invoicing. So again, and we're not done there. We're going to continue to pay attention as technology advances, and as we have new opportunities, we'll try to implement every tool that we can that makes sense for Oklahoma to make sure that we continue to keep our costs of travel in the turnpike network as low as possible.
And actually, if you use the app, it's like 49% cheaper than plate pay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think that's the target. It's going to be, it will be really, really competitive with Pike Pass, and another good alternative if you just, for whatever reason, don't feel the need to set up a Pike Pass account. And I think when you look at the advertising and marketing campaigns, it's always an exercise in estimation. But I can tell you without hesitation, our Pike Pass utilization rates and our Pike Pass account rates are at all-time high. You heard Marcus mention this morning that we're able to visit with about 50% of the folks that call into the call center to talk about plate pay after they've received an invoice to get them set up on a Pike Pass account. And that's really what we're talking about, is safe, convenient travel out on the Turnpike network and still being able to meet our maintenance responsibilities. So long-term, I think the team's doing a good job, and that's really what that advertising and marketing effort is about. I fully expect over time that we'll be able to phase that out as folks begin to get used to no longer a cash tolling environment, but more of a digital electronic tolling environment.
Well, my comment too, Mr. Secretary, would be, as part of that advertising budget, what we're really trying to do too with that is safety initiatives. We're trying to make sure people travel safely. Every citizen should be interested in that. You know, and the concept of the economic impact too, saving money versus and just educating the public about what we do. So I think, you know, it's hard to put a dollar value on it, but I think it's very important because you have to do it. You have to educate people. And so that's why I'm in support of it.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, and I will close today in just a minute, not yet, with a safety message that I think is exactly to your point, Mr. Jones. I think that's a critical acknowledgement, and it's something that it's obvious to us that we have to continue to try to keep in the front of everybody's mind, and part of the way we do that is through safety campaigns that certainly are incorporated into the advertising and marketing budgets that we have, not just at the Turnpike Authority, but at the Department of Transportation. So,
Well, and we don't like sitting up here every month and hearing a report about a fatality.
right.
And reading about it in the paper. So everything we can do to limit that, we should do.
From a Access Oklahoma standpoint, just a little bit of an update. We had a couple of interim studies in the Senate this week. I'm not going to say too much about them other than there was a tremendous amount of what I would characterize as misinterpretation and misrepresentation and some outright errors in some of the data that was presented. And that's something we're going to have to continue to work on to make sure that we correct those occurrences and to the extent that we can. And we'll continue to work on that. We've got another interim study coming up in October towards the end of the month, so we'll continue to work and prepare for that. And again, we've talked about all the reasons why the Access Oklahoma program and the 15-year long-range plan that's represented there is really important to Oklahoma's future and managing traffic and, again, reinvesting back into that Turnpike network. I want to stop just for a second because we're on the verge, and I'm going to talk for a minute about the Department of Transportation and an initiative that they have, just so the board is aware and also the public is aware. We're going to have another closure on Interstate 35 northbound here in Oklahoma County, just out here east in Oklahoma City between the Fort Smith Junction, I-35 and I-40, and I-44 and I-35 junction on the north, northbound lanes only. And that is in the interest of over a weekend going in and resurfacing that extent with a full closure. So we can accomplish in a couple of 3 days what would take us months to do. And again, that's something that is disruptive to the traveling public. Fortunately, with that particular location, the detours are relatively short. And we've got a good facility in Interstate 235 that can carry that traffic. But I just wanted to remind everybody that that's going to take place over the weekend. And so if you're traveling the Turnpike network and you're going to end up on that section of I-35, that's something to be aware of. And in closing, to talk a little bit about safety. You know, it's finally, we're 3 or 4 games into football season, depending on which team you're rooting for. And with that comes some increased traffic. Falls in particular has some increased traffic volumes across the state. But as you're traveling out there, it's really important to pay attention. You know, we've got construction work zones out there, but even outside of construction work zones, one of the challenges that we have is distracted driving today. And we need to really focus on eliminating those distractions while we're traveling. That includes cell phone usage and texting and emailing, and because that's a big one. And we need to continue to recognize the responsibility that we as drivers have behind the wheel of a vehicle, and pay attention to what's in front of us. And Chairman Love, you mentioned it this morning, the first thing that we can do as drivers to protect our own safety and the safety of the passengers in the vehicle with us is to buckle the seatbelt. And that needs to be in the front of everybody's mind. Our seatbelt utilization here in Oklahoma is about 85%. That doesn't speak well for us. We can do better as Oklahomans. Just to give you a perspective, that's going to put us as a lower tier state, you know, the bottom 10. If we want to break into the top 10, we'd have to get above about 94%. But Oklahoma can do it. But part of that is just awareness. And again, we can get a little bit complacent, especially in the vehicles that we have today that are super comfortable, that you feel super safe in, especially the newer models that might even have some driver assist technologies that are eventually going to make our highway system much safer. But right now, they're a little bit problematic because you feel so safe in there that sometimes you may not buckle that seatbelt. And it's extremely critical because all of those protections in an accident don't protect you from what can happen to you if you're not buckled in and secure in your seat. So again, we'd ask the traveling public to continue to pay attention, put down distractions, especially whenever you're out there traveling the highway system, and you're always going to encounter a work zone of some kind. So pay particular attention to those because those are some of our most dangerous areas. But also, first and foremost, every time you get in that vehicle, buckle up. One more thing, we have an extreme drought situation that's going on across the state of Oklahoma. Just over the last couple of weeks, we've seen a significant escalation in wildfire. And one of the things that I want to add a new emphasis to is don't drive into smoke. We had a pretty significant accident up on I-35 north of here this past week, and part of that was generated from conditions resulting from a wildfire. So that's something that we probably don't talk about enough, but that's no different than driving into a fog bank or anything else if you can avoid it. And wildfires come up and they spread very quickly, so conditions change rapidly. But man, if you can avoid driving into an area where we're having a wildfire and stay out of those conditions completely, because there's no good way, nothing you can do, because if you slow down, the folks behind you can't see that. If you travel through it, you never know what's happening in front of you. So visibility conditions can be just as bad as a whiteout or a fog situation. So we'd ask everybody to be really, really mindful of some of those wildfire conditions that we got that will indeed continue until we potentially have a change in weather pattern. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I would stand for any questions that the board might have of me this morning.
Just a couple of comments. Two of the things you mentioned seatbelts and how important they are. Almost every fatality that we see on our turnpike system is caused by not wearing seatbelts. So, you know, we certainly need to continue to work on, making the public aware of the importance of using seatbelts. The other thing you mentioned was a dial bar retrofit and diamond grinding. those are just absolutely great projects, and I've gotten all kinds of great comments on, when those projects are finished, how good it is. And not only the smoothness of the drive, but the fact that it extends the life of the concrete at least 7 or 8 years and possibly more. So just great projects. Any other questions or comments? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is there anything else to come before the board at this time? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
We have a motion for adjournment and a second by Ms. Weber. Jenny, please call the roll.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Weber?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Titsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Love?
Yes, and we are adjourned to our next meeting scheduled for Tuesday, October the 25th at 10:30 a.m. Thank you for your attendance.